It is Thursday here in downtown Toronto, 234 King Street East, the Pacific Junction Hotel. And once again, for the remainder of the week, we're in the fishbowl with the fisheye lens. It's kind of like when you try to steal stuff from like Old Navy. Not saying I do that. By the way, the lovely Jess is holding down the fort outside in the bar area of our broadcast. She's told me she steals stuff all the time. All the time. Especially Old Navy. Nah, she wouldn't steal from Old Navy. How about Prada? Yeah. See you later, purse. I could have sworn we had that leather-bound. Yeah, not anymore. And they rejoice on Kingston Road. Lots to talk about. And a reminder for those of you that are going to be golfing up at Hockley Valley next Tuesday, Hockley Valley. It is called Aiden's Drive. Our good friend Jay has put together this tournament to end epilepsy, as it's called. It's going to be a fun day in a gorgeous location. I think they even have a winery up there now or something. But it looks like it's going to be a full day. Dave and myself and Young Roast Beef will be up there. We're going to put together probably a 45-minute show. We're going to do something from there because we really want to talk about the efforts of Aiden's Drive. Kind of a cool thing. It is the first sort of charity event that we've done. You know that we went to the Steelheads for Mississauga, the OHL team, where we got a chance to talk to Owen Tippett, now a Florida Panther.
That sounds pretty cool, though, eh?
Isn't that's...
his hair matches the jersey.
Yeah.
That's ideal.
So get the wigs out. Get the ginger wigs. Also, Nick Hague, who is in Vegas, correct?
Yes. He just got back from rookie camp evaluation, did quite well from all circumstances. Here's the interesting thing about that Steelheads team that we talked to a couple weeks back. Every player we talked to outside of maybe Mikey McLeod, which I'm not exactly sure. I think he's probably going to be in the American Hockey League next year.
But those guys are Devil's rights.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So Hague, Tippett, guys like that, the other McLeod, they're all going to be back with the Steelheads. That's why the Steelheads are one of the favorites to win the OHL next year. And this is their window of opportunity. So not only are these guys going to be back this year, this upcoming season in September, but I would guess, because OHL has some blockbuster deals when it comes down to trade deadline, they'll bolster that roster too. And I would be shocked if they weren't in the Memorial Cup.
And the good news for us is when guys, one is in Florida, so we will be hitting that up. And then the other guy's in Las Vegas. You don't think we're going to be... Yeah, I think we're set up. I don't think so much about their careers necessarily, but how it reflects on stuff that we can get. This is the way it works on this show, which also reminds me there'll be more controversy later on. I have, as I always do, as football gets, we get into the weekend, I try to start my parlay. I did last night. So there's a parlay starting to roll, which means I throw it out on Twitter and ask, do I cash out? I'm halfway through my parlay, or do I play on with the CFL games? We know with Luch, he calls himself Lucky Luch, that there was controversy over a text that he sent me. Not whether not crying whether I won or lost. It's being told that I lost on a text.
Yes.
See that was the angle.
That's the angle.
Not about winning and losing. We get that. I
saw
that.
Losing sucks. Yeah.
But you make your bet, you lose. I just don't need someone texting me to tell me which game lost. I kind of know. So we'll see if that the pissiness continues. Something tells me
hashtag doesn't get it.
It will. Now. Okay, we'll get.
You know what he kind of reminds me of? Do you remember The Simpsons, where Homer Simpson is brought in by the FBI, and they're trying to change his name, and they're like, "Okay, Mr. Simpson, when I tap on your foot, you say hello," and Homer just sits there and doesn't get it, and he says, "Okay, when I scratch my ear and pull on your nose, you nod." That's what it,
Okay,
that's
so-
the instance I
Jeez,
look at.
okay, well there's so once again this will be angry. Jimmy the Bag. We're waiting to see what he's going to do this weekend too, as he continues to become more popular on the internet, which is the way of the world. Speaking of the way of the world, is there any surprise that Connor McDavid was going to get that huge payday? And I think it's one of those situations where it wasn't whether they were, there's really no talk of term. It wasn't really, whether they were going to try to. There's going to be no hometown haircut. To think that you were going to fool around with a shorter term and watch him go out the door, like that just never was going to happen. So Connor McDavid, 8-year, $100 million deal, annual salary cap hit of what, $12.5 million.
$12.5 million left money on the table.
Yeah. So there was what, 13 and.
Probably,
maybe at the
most. You know
but-
what? He might have even been able to squeeze like 14 out of him. I honestly think if it came down to it, if he wanted to be a hard ass about it, he probably could have sat there and said, "Okay, 6 years, 14." Do you know what I mean? Lower the amount of years and
jack up
the amount of cash that you're paying. If you're an Oiler fan this morning, you're ecstatic. You got the world's best player under contract for the next 9 years. Because let's not forget, this doesn't kick in until next season, not this upcoming season. So Connor McDavid will make his $925 this year. And then after this year, he'll get a 1,251% raise up to 12.5, which is very common in everyday life.
Well, Russell's been talking about that for the last couple of weeks. Wonder what I'm going to get. I said, well, what are you talking about? Well, I know McDavid's is coming up, so right. I can see why you would compare yourself to that. At the very least, it should be Mitch Marner, looks-wise.
I see similarities.
And so now we're going to get into the situation. So they took care of business now, which I give them full marks, Dave, for the Oilers saying, okay, well, it's kind of our future. He's going to be the best player. He's going to win trophies every single year. Let's get it done now. Love it. If you're John Tavares, you're taking a look at your options right now. And if you're here in Toronto, you're like, hey, he hasn't signed. He hasn't signed. Well, there's another year to go, which means you're going to go through a similar exercise, at least in Toronto, where there's this thinking like they had towards Steven Stamkos that maybe it's a John Tavares that comes over. Well, to make that happen, and I'm not saying that it can't or won't, but if you're looking at the Leafs in terms of what they've got financially invested in those, I don't know, what was that guy's name again? Austin someone? He might, at some point, and the Marners of the world, and Nylander, and you go down that list, just how much can you afford? Because in order for that to happen, there might be certain names that have to go. Like JVR would be on that list.
Yeah, I think he's good, old but gone by the end of this year anyway.
What about Uncle Leo? If an Uncle Leo has to go out, like you're going to have to lose a minimum of $10, $11 million. So that's 3 or 4 players probably.
Well, the good part,
if that were to happen,
yeah, if that were to happen, and the good part is the Joffrey Lupul contract comes off soon, so that's cap relief right there.
My God, that's still going on. Eh?
Oh yeah, that guy's
NFL players must look at that and go, what? I go out there and there's you get a little shake. He's like, you're gone. I just signed a 10-year contract.
Yeah.
Changed their mind.
And then after this upcoming season, you got 2 more years of Nathan Horton. And then, that frees up another 5 and change, 5.3.
Now, for what the Leafs are doing, we talked about the Hainsey contract the other day.
Heavy contract.
We talked about Patrick Marleau, who we thought, with the right fit, for the next 2 years, if you get what you're going to get, maybe it is a good deal. But Hyman got some money yesterday.
He got a little bit of cash, yeah. More than I thought he would get. A lot more. Some people disagree with me. Some people think it was the right move.
What people would disagree with Dave Bastel?
Well,
is it someone over there with a microphone? Is there someone over there who
I think he should pick up a microphone.
Who sees himself so all of a sudden and roast beef is heated.
He is. That you know what? You know what I'm learning by this? Because I'm getting to know Russell here, and I love him. I think he's great, and obviously he does awesome work here. When you poke holes into the Leafs situations and stuff like that, it riles him up. So I'm like, this is going to be a fun winter. Yes.
Yeah. It like he has some sort of stake in the company or something.
No, well,
Maple
no,
Leaf Sports
no,
Entertainment.
But I have a lot of friends like Russell. Now I have another friend that is Leaf crazy, and you know what to do. You know, like for example, Coach Frank. Everybody knows Coach Frank. I will religiously send him Patrick Laine scoring his third goal against the Maple Leafs, the overtime goal in that Leafs Jets game where Austin Matthews comes down the ice, is stopped. Patrick Laine comes down the other way.
I remember.
So I've probably sent him that at least, I don't know, 10 times.
I was going to say
100. I'm being nice on the number. Now I have another Leaf lover friend that if something doesn't go right or if I disagree with something. And
so what do you think about Hyman?
I don't mind it.
Here we go.
You don't mind it?
I think,
of course he doesn't.
don't mind it.
I think
How's $5 million? I don't mind it.
no. I think 2.25 is good for what he should probably be, a third liner that kills penalties. He got some power play time, not much, but he kills penalties. He's one of their better defensive forwards, and he's you're paying almost all third liners around $2 million. I would have liked to be a little bit lower, maybe closer to 2.25 is close to $2 million.
What he's trying to say
I would have
is-
liked it exactly $2 million, but
What does he say?
don't hate
What is he
2.25.
what is he trying to
Yeah.
say?
What
to
are you
us
saying? What's he
is
saying?
Ideally, Lou should have skimmed it off at like 1.5.
He's good at grinding.
I'm surprised he didn't grind because I look at the Hyman contract and I see the 4-year deal, which is great because the guy is a lot of heart, a lot of energy, a lot of penalty kill. Not on the right line whatsoever with Austin Matthews and should never be on the line with Austin Matthews. But for some reason, your buddy Babs decided against it. That's fine. Babs is smarter than me. I'm not going to sit there. But I look at that contract and say 4 years, 1.5 per season, sign him up, $6 million for those 4 years, not the $9 million he's making.
What about a guy like Connor Brown? Is he excited to see that contract?
He's jacked. He's jacked, and that's what our argument was about. You got Connor Brown, who basically played with a less of a center, scored 20 goals. Actually, at one point of the season, kind of dipped a little bit. So you kind of look at those numbers, and I know Russell will probably agree with me that the potential on a Connor Brown for next year could be 25 goals, and 25 goals for a Connor Brown is sensational. However, 25 goals costs you around $5 million a season. I hope the Leafs don't end up paying that just based on structure. But Connor Brown's probably sitting there going, you know what? 2.25 for Zach Hyman. I'm worth at least 4.
Well, see, they're already thinking a year ahead of time. So that's why we bring up the John Tavares name, simply because if you're already thinking ahead, which they do, I mean, if we're thinking about it, trust me, they were there a long time ago, then if that's the case, then you maybe in your head already decided what that move is and who's going.
Yeah.
Like, they know who's gone. If Connor Brown all of a sudden steps up and hits, a 25 goal year, then all of a sudden, if you're talking $4 or $5 million, that might take you out of that move. And let's just say it's John Tavares. If he starts making $5 million, now your math has changed.
Yeah, and if that happens, then you start looking at other situations where you go, okay, well, ideally, Joffrey Lupul's out at the end of next year. Nathan Horton is out in a couple of years. James Van Riemsdyk, I'm sorry. I love the guy. I think the guy's awesome.
He's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites.
He really was. And we've gotten a chance to talk to him a couple times. I'm sorry, but he's out too, because if you think James Van Riemsdyk is going to re-up for $4.2 million, $4.2 million is what he's making this year. That's Connor Brown money. James Van Riemsdyk's going to ask for the 6 point something. He's going to be asking for something like Patrick Marleau. You overpaid for Patrick Marleau. James Van Riemsdyk is 9 years younger than Patrick Marleau. He's hitting that gap where he's like, okay, not only are you going to pay me for what I've done, you're going to be paying me for what I'm about to do as well. So I look at Van Riemsdyk as a $6 million player. I just don't see him being a $6 million player on the Maple Leafs, which is too bad.
I think Babcock would say if you're looking at Brownie, he can get it done and skate up there and probably get 22, 20, 22, 24. JVR, he's a good kid. his brother played Massachusetts, and he did well for Chicago, and then he bounced around, stuff like that. But he's got a good group now. I think we got a good group. Sorry to see Honey go. Honey was good. Honey could get her done, and I think Hainsey's going to be shit. I told Lou, don't get Hainsey.
Is that what he-
He's a great big steaming piece of poo. I think he's going to do a lousy job. I do.
See,
He doesn't fit our group. I don't think he does.
I'm shocked,
yeah,
Mike.
yeah.
I'm shocked that you would actually say this to us.
I like Dom though. Dom,
Oh, Dom's a great contract.
Morrissey comes in there and pretty good ping pong player. He's a good player, and it's a whole thing like that. What's his name? Roast beef. Russell saying, if you go into the House of Lancaster and you don't got $1, then you're not having no fun, and that's how I see it.
That's it, eh?
Yeah. Hainsey gonna be shit.
Because you look at Van Riemsdyk, Mike, for a second,
Yes.
and roast beef, 34th overall in league scoring.
34th.
Does that like you sit there and you go, holy crap? I mean, okay, Russell, how much are you paying James Van Riemsdyk on the open market? Open market, not how the Maple Leafs want to do it financially.
Yeah, what's his value?
What's his value on the open? The 34th leading goal, the point producer in the NHL with 29 goals last season, and can play in a top 6 forward position.
Open market, or I think he's worth around like you said, like 6, kind of the 6.5, which means I think in free agency a team will overpay him and give him Kyle Okposo money, maybe at $7 million.
See, that's and unfortunately the Maple Leafs can't do that. Just like the Tavares thing, Tavares is looking at the the McDavid contract and going, I'm worth $12.5 million.
Like, does he also look? But does he look at like that Kopitar deal from?
That was signed. That was signed a couple seasons ago,
Yeah.
and Kopitar had a very, very off year. So the Kings are hoping for much better. But
it was 10, I want to say.
It is 10. It is 10. Yeah, he's in the top 5 overall in AVV. So I look at Tavares. That Tavares might match a Connor McDavid contract because it's also being signed in 2018. So you got to remember that. But then your GM argument, whoever decides to sign this guy, or Garth Snow and the Islanders re-up and so forth, going, you're on the same level of Connor McDavid, and for the franchise, for the Islander franchise, the answer is yes. For the overall point producing and everything that, the comparable is no, but that's not how the game works. It isn't, because you could sit there at any league and say, you know what, the most recent contract's going to be the most expensive. And in 2 years, there's going to be probably 2 or 3 players that make more than Connor McDavid. John Tavares, I think, for my money, is one of those players.
You're watching rawmikeRichards.com on the dedicated YouTube channel, also downloading it on iTunes. Subscribe to both rawmikeRichards.com, and, of course, subscribe, just that little red button. So I said, well, how do you do that? The little red button comes up as you're watching this. Just click on it. You're subscribed. You got it each and every day, including a lot of the promos that we send out there. Sometimes it's just individually some of the guests we have. If you just want to watch that, or some of the bits, we break it down. If we did like a 2.5-minute thing on whatever, you're going to see that as well. So make sure you subscribe as we continue to push forward. And as I said, in the next week or so, we got some interesting stuff coming up. Speaking of guests and interesting things, we talked to James Sharman yesterday from Rogers Sportsnet, longtime footy guy. Always liked him. What a great job he did yesterday in talking about Giovinco. So last night, and it's unbelievable to me at times when I look at North America, and I look at the facility last night that Orlando, calling themselves Orlando City. Sometimes, yeah, you got to just use these names from Europe. I know it makes it sound more European, but have you seen Orlando? It's in Florida. There's dead people floating in ditches on the side of the road. Just call it what it is. The Orlando death. This I'd go for. Or the stain, the Orlando stain. It's Florida. Whatever. The Orlando Poon. I'd go for that. Who wouldn't go for that? Orlando City, big facility. And Giovinco, who already, he has 1 goal at this point. This is into the 65th minute. Property of Major League Soccer, MLS. And this is actually from Channel 27 in Orlando. Giovinco's already hit some woodwork in this on a penalty, on a free kick. Here comes another one in the 65th minute. The atomic ant, as someone as called him beforehand. We also talked yesterday about how maybe not being still of national caliber or considered that back in Italy. But I'm telling you, this guy is unbelievable. Watch this kick. Once again, courtesy of Major League Soccer.
10 yards back. Javinko, who hit the crossbar earlier, lets it fly again.
Oh!
He's got a brace. What a goal from Sebastian Javinko.
Javinko.
3-1, Toronto back up by 2.
Unbelievable. See how shitty it sounds when like a North American guy does a soccer game? Do you hear how you've got to have the Schweinsteiger? I mean, you need something. Oh, Javinko with a beauty. That sounds no good.
No, it doesn't.
But that was a beauty. And as I said, if you saw his first not penalty kick, but his first free kick, just like for a guy that, how big is he? 5'4"? Like you could take him, I think. I think he'd be intimidated.
Yeah, you could take him.
He'd be intimidated by the roast beef.
How fast are you roast beef? Are you a fast runner?
I think he probably has to be. I think he probably has to be.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't ran in a long time, but
Okay, let's go on King right now, Mike.
All right, I'll
You ready?
race you.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm a fast skater. But
Oh, yeah.
You want that, eh?
Yeah,
you want that, eh?
Back to that career again. So TFC continues to roll along. I believe that James Sharma yesterday said he thinks they're the best team in MLS.
Yeah. They got some competition, though. I mean, that Chicago Fire team is really, really good. I know that
there's a name. The city almost burns down.
and they name it after
and
the
Chicago Fire. I get that.
the tragedy of the city.
Orlando City. Have you been there? There's a film on the city of Orlando. You know, it's one of those places. Last night, baseball. Well, actually, yesterday. So the Blue Jays get off to like a 4-cob lead.
Yeah, they were in control.
And then it's like 5-0, and then Aaron Judge again.
All rise.
That's a good one. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. He is.
I'm going to say it every single time you say
Here we go. So courtesy of Yes Network, Major League Baseball. There it is.
Fly ball. Deep right center.
Hit.
Pilar back.
Hit.
Track. Wall. See ya.
See ya.
Move over, DiMaggio.
And
you
yes.
have company. 29 home runs as a rookie for Aaron Judge.
Now, how about that? Are you any good? Well, who'd I tie again? I had it written. Oh, yeah. Joe DiMaggio. Jolton Joe. He ties it before the All-Star break. I'm telling you, this home run derby, even though
79 games left for him, too.
Look how what are we looking at here?
It's awesome.
Now, nobody,
Yeah.
because this is what I was expect now.
Probably on the juice.
I've never heard that.
No. The guy's a big dude. I mean, he's 6'7", 270-ish, maybe a little bit more. And I'm sorry, when you're 6'7", you're going to be a bigger guy if you decide to lift one weight. Never mind, religiously go to a gym like he does, or a training program and regimen as he does. But I mean, man, the sky's the limit on this guy. The thing is, with the size that he has, it's very, to me anyway, it's very Jose Canseco-ish, where it looks like a guy swinging a toothpick, and you can't miss an at-bat because the guy's exciting when he strikes out, when he loops something to, left center field, when he crushes a home run like he just did there. It's almost must watch if you're looking at Major League Baseball. Maybe the most watched type of player there is in Major League Baseball right now.
Well, the home run derby, and again, the only comparison I can make it to when it comes to All-Star festivities is really the slam dunk competition. I'm trying to think of any other sort of parallel, but it is that isolated thing on one skill that does exist within a game, but you're only doing that one skill, and it's also a crowd pleaser. So the slam dunk used to kind of be that. I don't know if it is. We kind of jumped the shark a little bit. But the home run derby does still have a little bit of that sizzle, but it also depends, just like the slam dunk, on who's going in it. So you look at the guys so far, and so Logan Morrison sees that Gary Sanchez was invited to the home run derby and said the guy's only has 13 homers. I don't know exactly criteria. If it's not numbers, does Logan Morrison have a point of Gary Sanchez going in over him?
100%.
Over, and it's to a degree. Is it a snub? Was he snubbed?
I think it is. You know what the funny part is? A lot of people don't want to go into the home run competition just because it ruins a swing, right? Or that's the theory behind it, because you're chugging away doing power swings, which you never do during BP for the most part, unless you're Aaron Judge, of course, because that's worth the price of admission too, watching him take batting practice. But I mean, a lot of it, his argument was a lot of it is Gary Sanchez is a New York Yankee. So when you put up that Yankee uniform against, well, you could almost say any jersey in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, the New York Yankee jersey itself is on a Mount Rushmore of jerseys throughout the world.
It's iconic.
Yes. I mean, you'd probably put up like a Barcelona jersey, a Manchester United jersey, in the NHL, Montreal Canadiens one.
Yeah, thanks. But Rangers or Blackhawks,
a Leafs one.
Yeah.
It's that type of jersey. But man,
Well,
for
think of the
stat wise, Logan Morrison is by far the obvious choice.
one of the best usages of the Yankee uniform or the pinstripe, Warriors. The
Yeah.
movie Warriors.
Yeah.
How many people, see, I never did, dressed up as one of those guys for Halloween, because I know a lot of guys who did. I never have, but that's got to be coming, because that was cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. But when you think about it, so there's Logan Morrison, and he appeals to, who's he appealing to? Who's picking these guys to be in the home run derby? Who's the okay, whatever the panel is. And so he calls in and he said, "Hello, it's Logan Morrison, right? I should be in the home run derby." "Oh, really?" "Yeah." He goes, "I play for Tampa Bay. They have a team?" I just don't think anyone gives a shit about Tampa. I don't think the people in Tampa Bay care about the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm sure there's some people who still call them Devil Rays. And I always thought that was a weird name.
Yeah, that is weird.
As a born-again Christian,
Yes, that you are. And you
I
preach.
find that the usage of Devil Rays offensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've said that many times.
It's blasphemous to me that you'd have a Satan-like fish on your and what does that have to have you ever, does anyone who knows anybody in that area go, "Well, today I'm going to go out and catch me some devilfish"? I never heard anyone say that.
No. Mind you, I don't really
I don't know.
talk a lot of
fishing,
Tampa talk and fishing talk with Tampa residents,
Worse.
right?
Now, what mattered last night to me? Well, of course, the Colorado Rockies, as I started my parlay, but it was the pitcher. And this is what I kind of like about the National League. If you're playing baseball, play baseball like I think it's kind of supposed to be played. If you're a pitcher, I think you got to hit. And if you're John Gray, get a load of this shot last night. And there's another reason why this is particularly good, courtesy of Major League Baseball and property of Major League Baseball. Here's how it looked.
Here to Locks of Love. I've seen some pictures. Here's a fly ball hit well into center field, and that is the first career home run for the pitcher, John Gray. Straightaway center.
Straight away.
Rockies have taken a 2-0 lead.
467. And boom goes the dynamite. So why did I love that so much? Well, of course, let's put that parlay back up on the board there, roast beef. Let's take a look at Richards last night. Oh, my goodness, he had 4 baseball games, and I was liking the name Gray. If you're pitching, your name was Gray last night, I was on you.
Because usually we don't like the name Gray.
No, it's for losers. People say, is it black and white? No, it's gray. Oh, so you don't really know what you're doing then. You're in the middle. That's gray. Sonny Gray. By the way, how much longer is Sonny Gray going to be playing for the awful Oakland A's?
3 weeks.
He's got to be gone.
It's close.
He wants to go.
Yeah.
He's phoning guys.
He's
phoning Tampa Bay going, "Look, I know no one likes you. No one knows you have a team there. My name is Sonny Gray. I'm pretty good. I don't know if you've seen it, but I win a lot of games."
Ryan on the live chat says, "Let it ride, Richards. I like your CFL picks."
Yeah. Ooh. I know you. There's one of them you're not crazy about. I got the Stamps minus 3.5. The BC Lions just to score 27 points. That's a pretty good prop bet.
Yep.
That's not bad.
So it's 20. Yeah. So basically, hit 27 for a game in a CFL game with that type of offense. You could almost go every single week. Calgary, BC, Edmonton will score 27 points.
Hamilton's having some problems. I think the Riders. This is game number 3. They've lost 2 in a row. It's at home. Hamilton never plays well on the road, so I've got the Riders at -1. And I think the Red Blacks are the real deal. If you're Toronto going in there, it's -4. You don't love the number. I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think it's going to matter. Ottawa is for real. I think that's the lock of the week. If I'm looking at that, and it's a 1-9, You're almost doubling your money. If I want to put it on something because I want to win for sure, or as Luch says, $1,000, then Luch.
Which he probably does quite a bit.
Put $1,000 on the Red Blacks, and you're welcome. You're watching RawMikeRichards.com on the dedicated YouTube channel, or Raw Mike Richards itself, downloading on iTunes, listening to the podcast as we, for the next couple of days, we'll have the weirdo surveillance cameras. I know I keep talking about the new cameras. We're still waiting for them to actually change the way in which we do the show. Currently, we have these. Once again, it's like if you like Russell says, sometimes he goes into a McDonald's and he goes into the washroom. And he does some pretty crazy stuff. It's pretty nuts. This is kind of what it would. This is kind of what it would look like, I think. Speaking of what it would look like, if you're on holidays with LeBron James, which I got to think, if you're going on a vacation with LeBron, you're having a good time. Hey, LeBron, can we go out in a boat? He goes, buy the boat. Yeah, you're right. Let's buy that boat. So I think this is. So this is him in the off season. I think this is from his Instagram where it came from. He's smoking a cigar, and I gotta admit, this looks good. Here's LeBron, Instagram, and if you're watching once again, you want to see this. If you're just listening to it, go and watch it on. So he'd be shooting this himself, right, Russell? I mean, that's how you're gonna get this look. There's his view, so I assume it's Mexico. Look at that. Hey, LeBron, can we buy some stuff? Yeah, just take it easy. Yeah, I wonder what I want to buy.
They say he shine. All he ever do is painting pictures of crime, telling pictures of pain, telling pictures of dope. Bitch, if you listen, I'm telling pictures of hope.
And soap on a rope. See, I'd be throwing that in. Right, LeBron? That was a good one too, right?
Joke.
Oh. Singing now. Look at this. Okay. Look at it. This is great. Okay, let me ask you something. Why would people not like this guy? He's going to be one of the best players who ever played the game. The guy actually, goes back to Cleveland. He's from Cleveland, or from the Ohio area, right? He's from Akron. It was him and 4 other guys previously, and he takes them to a conference final, goes down to Miami, and then comes back. Comes back and wins you a championship. What's not to like about this guy? I don't understand when people say, LeBron. When have I ever read about him being pulled over in a DUI? Or was it Plaxico Burress who put a gun in his pants and shot himself in his own leg at a wine bar? I don't hear any domestic abuse. I don't see any, cocaine or crack found in his pimped out car. You don't hear any of these stories with LeBron James. All he does is play his guts out, win, and make all the guys around him better. I don't understand any anti-LeBron talk. That's what I don't get. Now, if you're just kind of a hater and you just don't like the fact that he's that dominant and that good, maybe I get it. But I'm looking at this guy. You don't want to hang around where he was in Mexico? That's where I want to be. Or do you want to hang around with, think of another, I want to hang around with Tim Duncan. I want to hang around with Tim Duncan as he probably complains about everything. He probably wouldn't go to Mexico. He'd probably making that face when the drink shows up. I don't like this one. Yeah, fuck, do you like anything, Dan?
I wanted him to sing a little more about going to the Lakers at the end of next season.
Yeah. Well, that's
We're going to LA in 2019.
I was shaking when I going to the lake. Yeah, that was terrible too. But I just think that it just seems predestined. We talked about this a couple of days ago. How does that not happen? You know what? And if you're a Laker, you know what? I'd even start watching the Laker games again. That would become the Lake Show, especially if his friend Paul George shows up. We'll see what Lonzo does, but that would only be part of it. I mean, I just think that
you know what I'm thinking too. If you're going to add that, if we're going to be talking about that, it's basically we're going to see LeBron James, Paul George, and another guy. You're going to see exactly what LeBron did with the Miami Heat, but in Los Angeles, there will be a third superstar. It will be a little bit of a superheroes type of reunion. I'm not sure who that third guy is, but there will be a third guy, and we're not talking about the ball control.
I like how you said that. Was that your attempt at being a?
It was a really bad one
that's
too.
okay.
Yeah.
They'll all be.
I'm better at All Rise.
we're talking about Gordon Hayward as well. So as that deal gets a little bit closer, but they're talking it's going to be more of a sign and trade, kind of thing. So they get something back for it. So I guess they're talking about getting a max contract of $128 million, but trades. I guess Marcus Smart, that name came up. Jay Crowder, Avery Bradley. So there's still a little bit of work to be done for Gordon Hayward. But even still, if you're LeBron in Mexico, you're smoking the cigar, you're singing the songs, you're doing raps. You're doing raps. You see what I'm saying? That wasn't a thing. I sound like someone's dad. Are you doing the raps in there, Russell? No, leave me alone. And keep down the tone. It's like, Russell, don't be doing that. I told you, no raps. But do you think LeBron's going, oh no, Gordon Hayward's just gone to Boston. Now what am I going to do? Oh well, I guess I'll smoke another cigar and continue to do more raps. You're right. That doesn't scare him. Nothing would. Now, Paul George going there, that might have scared him a little bit. Now you got something to worry about. LeBron has no worries. And by the way, it's one more year, as we said. Looking at other sports that we don't talk about, did Milos Raonic he's playing against some guy named Yuzny? Is anyone? As I look,
He got me.
I don't know. There's a Gulbis in there, but I don't think it's Natalie.
No, it may not be.
I think it's a guy. I can't. How would I know? But if Natalie Gulbis played tennis,
You're watching tennis.
yeah. Whatever happened to Natalie Gulbis? I knew a guy who ran into her getting coffee one time. He said they bumped into each other. They go, yeah, accidentally bumped into Natalie Gulbis at a Starbucks. Gee, it wasn't with your pelvis, was it? It was. And she said sorry, and they had a little chat. I'm thinking, if that works, you don't want that story getting out. If the pelvis bump works in a Starbucks, that's going to create a lot of problem, I think, in society. Speaking of other things that societal that I don't get, do you like those shows, the Big Brothers?
Yes.
Do you like them?
Well, here's the thing.
You don't like those.
Here's the thing. I'm not going to say like. I'm going to say I watch because my wife watches.
Okay, well that's
my wife will watch. The two sisters will watch. They'll talk about it. I got to be honest with you. I could only watch so much baseball during the regular season, and we're kind of in that dog days. Well, almost to the dog days of summer where it's almost too much baseball. I probably watch at least 3 to 4 innings of baseball a night. And with the other part of the night, Big Brother's on or something like that, I'll watch it. She'll watch Anderson Cooper. I'll go back downstairs.
See, Big Brother, I don't get. What's the premise of the show? I remember when it first came out, and they had all kinds of versions in Europe as well.
Yeah.
And so when I go to Ireland, I turn it on, and it was huge in Ireland.
Yeah.
The UK was, and it's in the middle of the night, and there are these cameras, and they're watching them sleep. And people are fucking watching people sleep.
No, I don't watch. No, I watch the actual show itself where they condense everything into action for 1 hour. There's competitions to see who is the head of household and who votes who off and so forth. And it's actually
but who's getting voted off? So when you're in
it's
a
almost
house,
like you're working at TSN. You know what I mean? Because you just don't know who's in control.
Yeah, but I mean, but who wins?
The person that lasts the longest in the house.
So let's say the four of us right now. So there's Jess, there's roast beef, myself, and you.
Yep.
Why? Okay,
so what would happen? Okay, say we're the final four. There would be a competition.
So they have little competitions within the show.
Within the show, either something mind or physical or different aspects of competition. And say roast beef wins. Okay, so roast beef.
But they're not doing like weightlifting or.
No. But some of they are very creative. They are very creative, and they have a lot. They have a big budget. They have a multi-million-dollar budget. Say roast beef wins it. Roast beef will decide which two of the three of us will be on the block, meaning voted out. So say he says, okay.
So if he wins, he's putting you up. I know that.
Well, for sure he is.
Yeah, so he's coming right after you.
For sure he is.
Very jealous, very vindictive.
And during the week, I'm probably sitting there going, roast beef. I kind of like the Leafs. They're my second favorite
so
team.
there's a whole week before he decides.
Yes. You know what? If you don't put me up and you put Mike up instead, I'll make sure I vote for you next time. Not, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of that kind of
Okay.
social game of it.
If we're doing it for real, then
There's good looking girls on
yeah.
it.
So does a girl all of a sudden? So Jess would never
For
pay
the-
attention to roast
Yeah.
beef. All of a sudden, Jess is going. You know what, Russell? I really like your new haircut.
That's exactly it. That's exactly
I
it.
think,
See,
yes.
and you kind of you have that audience where there's good looking girls and there's good looking guys. And then there's different sides of it where there's an older guy, an older girl.
Russell, I
and-
really like the way you wear your pants with no belt like that, and you fly undone. I really like how you do that. Wow, thanks a lot, Jess.
So he puts me and you up, right?
Yeah.
And then because there's only Jess, and in a situation of Big Brother, there's more than just Jess that are voting on which one of us gets kicked out. They go into a room, they say their reasons, blah blah
So
blah.
this got to be filled full of douchebags. The show.
There's a lot of douchebags. And there's a lot of guys that pretend not to be douchebags, but they are douchebags. It's kind of douchebaggish-ish.
Yes.
It is. I'm not going to sit there and say I'd hang around with these guys because
No.
clearly I wouldn't.
I wouldn't go on the
But-
show. If you're auditioning to get on that show, you're a douchebag.
Yeah.
You're a fucking loser.
But there's a lot of people that audition for that show because they want to parlay some sort of career out of it, right?
Oh, my God.
And they have. There's been
You're serious?
There's been people that have moved on to do different TV shows.
Would I know any of these
modeling?
people?
No, but I know.
I don't know if I'd know them.
No, I don't think so. But like for example, in WWE,
Porn. Go into porn then if you go on that
I
show.
wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah.
there were. I don't know per se, but like for example, WWE, The Miz. You've heard of The Miz? Maybe
No,
no.
no.
Okay,
Is that a wrestler?
That's a wrestler.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Well, The Miz got his start in a reality show. It wasn't Big Brother, but he was in a reality show.
Oh.
WWE saw him. Now he's a multi-million-dollar wrestler. Has a great look, great on the microphone. Can make fun of anybody anytime.
the guy's got talent.
He has a lot of talent, but he was discovered from the reality show. He parlayed that into his career of being a sports entertainer.
I can't see anybody with any talent or anything that would go on that show. Here's Stephen Rapp saying, dogs are 8-0 in the CFL and you have 3 faves. I wish you luck. Sensei, you watch Rapp. You watch
Well, at least
what
he got
happens.
your name right.
Yes,
Sensei.
because I'll tell you what, dogs and the under have always been big in the first couple of weeks. But not this week.
See, we got a comment on live chat. Big Brother is nice because it brings together people of different ages, races, sexualities, economic groups, and see how they get along. Normally, we wouldn't see these type of people socialize. That's what kind of throws it into a mix where it's like, you know what? How would this work? It's you put everything in a box, you shake it up.
Did
and-
someone say it's a nice show?
Yeah.
And they're watching this show?
Sorry, Big Brother is great.
Oh, Big Brother's
Yeah,
great.
great. Yeah, a nicer version of solitary confinement.
Let's see, because at first I thought is Joel Osteen watching this?
No,
show?
no.
It's nice. It's
No,
nice
no,
how
no.
people get
And
together.
then it's funny. It's funny because he's right. He says eventually they'll lose it at the end because at the end of it, you start, like when you're about 3 or 4 weeks in, you forget the cameras are in there. They're in this mansion in Los Angeles that probably have like 150 cameras in the house. You can't do anything except maybe in the bathroom.
There's got to be sex on that show.
There's more sex in the European side of things, from what I understand,
Of
than
course.
this. But also in the Big Brother American, there's also Big Brother Canada. I think a lot of that is probably edited out, or they allude to it, but they don't show. I don't know what goes behind it.
Okay,
it's an interesting
So
show.
Big Brother, I'm telling you, I can't watch. Occasionally, I watch the Amazing Race ones. Mm-hmm. And so the American Amazing Race, where they have all kinds of people and couples and older people and younger people.
See,
and people-
everybody
Yeah.
on live chat
Yeah.
is talking about how much they like Big Brother. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 comments about Big Brother.
I can't. You can't make me watch it.
I'm not. Hey, we're not gonna.
Sometimes
You know who watches Big Brother religiously? True story.
Who?
Jeff O'Neill. Me and him go back and
The
forth.
O-Dog
texting. Yes,
watches Big
yes.
Brother?
And you know what? You know what used to piss him off too? I would send him a note because Irene sometimes and Vicky, which sometimes, yeah. So this is
Well, see,
okay
I'd watch it then.
Yeah. See, they'll go on different sites to see actually what happens before it happens, and then Irene will tell me.
So they cheat?
A little bit, yes. Now you probably like her even more.
Well.
Or
I got to hope for something. Something's got to break for me.
so she'll tell me, oh, so and so is getting voted off, and I used to text O'Neill, and he'd get so pissed.
Well,
at
Matt,
me.
it's like
he'd get really
It's like
mad.
open up your gift before Christmas.
Yes.
Can't do that.
But I wanted to see. I wanted to see how much of a fan he really was, and then ever since that day, he texts me back, telling me teasers of what's happening because ODog has gone on the sites to actually see what happens a week in advance.
See, I said the Amazing Race when the American one came out, and then they go to these crazy places in faraway lands and have to speak all these languages. And then Canada goes, well, let's do ours. And so they go to Red Deer and Uxbridge. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, like, what's the point of the Canadian one when, unless you go to Montreal, you're pretty much,
Amazing Race. Yeah. It's funny you said. I'm not joking. Ryan, live chat. U.S. Amazing Race is so good. The Canadian one is awful. Today they are traveling from Toronto to Sudbury.
wow, so amazing.
Hey, did I tell you my brother tried out for Amazing Race Canada and actually got 2 interviews?
Okay. Dave and I have, and this is one thing, Dave and I have talked about this
Yeah.
because I think we would be awesome on the Amazing Race. But there's going to be,
but we'd be doing stuff to other people though,
that's the issue.
and we'd forget the cameras are there, and then we'd say something, and then
Yeah, because guess what? It's like, so it'd be cameras kind of like this, and you hear that music, da, 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 and then the music's over, and I go, hey, fucker. What? Yeah, you're fucking dead. You know when you sleep tonight? One eye open, because I'm going to cut your throat out. I'm going to rip your guts out. We're back on. Oh, Tommy. Okay.
oh, way to go, guys! Come on, guys!
Oh, where is Sudbury? I hope you make it on time. No way. It would be because I thought, if I can, because I can get behind some languages,
Yeah.
that would be ahead. But after that, when you're climbing up nets and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And here's my hands. He's hitting my hands. Like biting people. Like I'm punching them in the back. Ow! That's the show. Even some of the old people, they got to go. What do you win? $1 million? Grandma, take your fucking hands off the-
I'm not sure what Amazing Race wins. Big Brother USA is $500K to the winner.
Now $500K.
Yeah, $500,000.
Here's a couple of so Stephen Rapp got in there. House Money says, wish you luck, Sensei. Frank says, bet, as Steve Miller would say, go on, take the money and run.
Oh.
Ow!
Really?
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Jimmy the Bag, was he sleeping?
Maybe.
Well, look at the time. He probably still is sleeping. I can't believe he hasn't got in on this already. So, also, we understand that I was looking at this beforehand. I don't know. What else was I going to talk about today? I can't remember. No, I think
We've got everything. Oh, you know what I wanted to talk about?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought I saw a light go out here.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about this because we talked about it the other day. So the duck, the
Yes.
waterfront duck,
And everyone hated
and everybody hated it.
because they said it was costing $150,000.
Yeah,
or
so I
something?
guess some prices out there are saying 200K.
200K.
is what it turned out. Well, guess what? That duck over the 3 days surpassed $4.2 million in revenue. 4.2. So if I give you 200K and you give me back 4.2 million, my math tells me I just made $4 million on a 6-story rubber duck that was sitting in the middle of water.
The people just couldn't. It was like the Rolling Stones got up the
Bingo.
The yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Restaurants sold out. Water taxis said they were 4 times busier than what they were. The hotel there, the Radisson, actually a really good outdoor pool.
It is an excellent one.
So
once again,
sold
that's
out.
the Radisson,
Yes.
Queens Quay in downtown Toronto.
And the Starbucks inside the Radisson on the Saturday sold out of some of their product that they couldn't, like some of their drinks. I don't go to Starbucks. That they couldn't sell anything more because it was already sold out.
See, that's where I get mad. That's what the same thing. It's an Amazing Race, and you're in a Starbucks. I'll have the half decaf.
I got a feeling you're going to be hitting that wall more than one time this year. It's a good move.
It's the Irish in me. There's certain things I just snap. I go in you see coffee. I get a tall dark roast. I throw some cream in it.
Okay, let me do it.
Yeah?
Okay,
All right.
I want you to do a Lou Lamoriello impression. I'm Kyle Dubas, and I'll come up to you and say, "Hey Lou, I just signed Zach Hyman for $2.25 million, even though you said 1.5. What do you think of that?" That's when you're supposed to hit the wall.
Yeah. Are you freaking?
No.
I gotta think. Are you freaking serious? I don't know. Come here, you. Come here.
Lou, sweet Lou, I went over what you told me to pay him.
Yeah, no, it'd be a little Sopranos. It'd be like, oh, that's okay. Why don't you come over here? With like a stick, like this Lou's stick. You get the stick, or was it like in The Walking Dead, Lucille with the baseball bat with the barbed wire on it? He'd be good with that. You see Lou Labarella with the bat with the barbed wire. More tweets coming in here today. Is it about the betting? Oh, here's Coach Frank.
Let's turn on the air conditioning. It's getting hot in
The
here.
Amazing Race Canada that ranks right up there with the Real Housewives of Red Deer.
Oh my. Okay, Amazing Race Canada. Yes. Okay.
Amazing Race Canada. That's
Okay,
what he's
that's
saying.
fine, that's
I
fine,
agree.
okay.
By the way, enough of the
They're like,
Housewives of whatever. Just go away. Why do I care about housewives in Atlanta or in wherever it is with the fake lips and the Botox and what they want to do while their husbands go out and they're real estate moguls and the wives they're arguing about what kind of I don't know wallpaper or whatever and is it just me or do we not actually at this day and age with plastic surgery realize that they all just have like one face? Like are you just? I don't know this, but when you're going in, and you're getting the cheeks done and the lips and the nose and all this. You're just looking in and you go, "Can I buy that face?" That's what the Jacksons did for years. It's just like they had like 8 or 9 kids or whatever it was, and now for Christmas they just gave each other new heads. I mean, that's what they did. Everyone looked the same. Michael looked like the young one, Janet, and Janet looked like the older one that was the stripper. What was her name? She goes, "I'm an actress." No, you're not.
was that Latoya?
Latoya. Lahora. Like, seriously.
Did she change her name then?
Well, she was, hey, swear to God, she was at the Solid Gold. The Solid Gold chain. You remember that? Solid Gold?
I remember the name.
Or the Dollhouse. One of those. And there she was with that face. Like the Michael Jackson face. Except this time with a rug and a pole. Which is weird. Because I don't want to think about Michael doing that. Because if Michael was doing that, you know what? I'm going to go in a bad place. Even the chimp wouldn't have done. Even Bobo, the magic chimp, would have enjoyed that.
The live chat are really enjoying you hitting the wall.
Well, yeah,
I'm not joking. And Patrick, this may be the best show yet.
Yeah. Here's Bruno. Ayo. He said, pet theory, Lou has film on everyone.
Maybe.
You're not wrong in that one.
Maybe, yeah.
It's like, one of the great, like Austin Matthews comes in and it's like, geez, I really like playing here and it's so much fun and everything and I'm going to do really well. And Lou goes, do you remember Cabo? San Lucas? What do you mean? That girl? Oh, yeah. Here's your next contract. Here's your next contract.
Sign here. Initial.
$2 million a year. Wow, what a shit contract. Why would he sign for such low money? Cabo said, but there's a picture of him with what do you call it? Fidget? What do you call those things?
Yeah,
Children have.
yeah. I actually got Marissa loves it.
But there's a picture with him. Have you seen this picture online? It
No.
looks like he's got a fidget in his hand.
No, really?
What are you doing? Now, look, maybe someone's going to correct me on this and send in. By the way, if you want to send it to Twitter, the account is @RawMikeRichards.
Yep.
Or @David Bastel, which is
That's right.
once again very fair, very easy.
Yeah, crazy. I came up with that one myself.
Like I don't get that. Like I make fun of my generation that thought the Slinky was good. Slinky.
Everybody had a Slinky though. I had a Slinky.
But a fidget? Like what age? What's the cutoff on a fidget? 7? But I got a feeling it's
it's everywhere. Every single dollar store I've been to.
What's the fun
I'm
in
not
it,
saying
though?
I go to a lot of dollar stores, but still.
yeah.
Who doesn't go to a dollar store? Where do you buy your chocolate bars from?
Yeah.
Don't look at me like
Yeah.
that. Don't judge.
What is a fidget supposed to do? What does that 3-prong thing do?
You just sit there and you go,
So you spin it like you've been hit with a chunk of concrete when you were 4 in the head.
well, my 4-year-old likes it.
Yeah, because she's 4. But if you're like 13, like think about it. When you're 12, 13, 14, you're a good athlete. You're on a rep team. And if I look over and there's my captain going, don't like our chances. Now the goalie can do it because he's a goalie.
He can do whatever he wants.
Whee! A fit. You have one of Russell.
Russell has it. Yes,
Yeah,
you do.
you got a
He has a
fidget.
Maple Leafs one.
Yeah.
They do. They sell now. I don't know if it's a product of the NHL because I'm sure some of these look like they're kind of off the market, so to speak, and just put stickers on.
Yeah,
and,
like in some small Asian country.
yeah. I'm just saying.
10-year-olds are making them by the dozens.
But
Here's
honestly,
a New England fidget. Spelled wrong.
New England doesn't have two E's. But you know what? Honestly, they stick them by the cash register at grocery stores. Toys R Us has a section of it. Different colors, different styles, and little. I don't know. It is for the 10 cents it makes and the $10 they sell it for. Somebody out there is making a profit.
It's $10.
It's $10, $9.99.
$10 for the little thing that spins around.
Yeah, yeah.
All of a sudden, Clacker's not looking that stupid now.
I'm just saying.
Clackers, it took a little bit of skill.
I know-
until you lost your eye, until you were blind. But the fidget,
Yeah, the fidget. I'll bring it in tomorrow for you.
Fidget Fridays. See, we want to do Third Song Fridays, but we get gooned on all the copyright shit that we can hardly even do this stuff anymore.
We'll get to the bottom of that. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, the PGA. Thanks a lot for that. Oh no, we
I don't get that.
we refuse your what dispute? Your dispute. Why? We told you where it's from. It's not like we're making it up when Rory McIlroy or Jordan Spieth the other day holes out to win a playoff, and I say property of the PGA and CBS or the Golf Channel or whatever I said. No, your dispute is denied. Okay, you want to see what I'm going to do with the PGA now? You wait. You wait till the fall comes how angry I'm going to be. You think this is good? That's you, PGA. Do you see that? Tim Finchem? No, he's gone now.
He's gone now.
Who's the new guy?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's you little prick. You listen to me, PGA. Yeah, you should get Steven Seagal. You listen to me, you little fucker. Actually, Steve, I don't think Steven's even doing that.
I don't know, but you know what?
He was in a movie. I watched another one. He makes a movie every week.
He's
And what was-
still one of my favorite actors.
I had to turn it off. I know this one's a war one now, and he's huge, and he's over in like.
Is he wearing a black leather trench coat?
No, he's not. He's wearing like a lot of military gear because
Okay.
it's like a sniper thing.
Okay.
And they're gunned down, and these two trucks, and they're trying to get them fixed or something. As like the Middle Eastern guys, it's
Drugs involved at all?
No, it's like Middle Eastern ISIS
Okay.
kind of stuff. And so guys are coming out of the bush going, shooting, and of course he's shooting back.
Sure.
But the scene with the truck, trying to fix the truck, goes on for, I think, about an hour.
Wow, that's a. And the movie's only 90
Fix
minutes.
the truck! And I finally had to turn it off. They're doing all these clever lines. Well, I sure was hoping there would be an Arby's. An Arby's reference? Like, it was just so fucking bad. And then occasionally one of the kind of not big heroes runs out and they get shot by the ISIS people. There's another one down. Okay. Just leave the truck. Leave the truck. We're in an hour and a half of truck fixing. And this was called, Operation Death. Or whatever,
Ooh,
he's got.
good name. And if it isn't, let's use it.
Snipe it down. Hey, Steven, these are all great ideas you're coming up with. Let's make that movie next week. Because that's all he's doing. I mean, the other ones were great, but
Anything anybody will ever say about Steven Seagal, I will wash away and ignore because I think he's one of the great actors of our generation.
what is the crazy one where the cop gets killed and they know the guy and his name's like Bobby and he's the one with it was like that Forsyth guy. It's like
Not sudden death.
no, and
No.
and there's this one scene because they're like, hey Nico, you got to stop because Bobby's going crazy. He goes, "No, I'll take care of it," and then Bobby comes to at a stop sign, and this woman, I'm telling you, this is not supposed to be funny, or you're not supposed to cheer for it because he's the bad guy, but he's all hyped up on coke, the bad guy, because he's killing everyone, he's killing cops,
Sure.
and then the woman behind him, as they had stop sign, as he's talking to his friends, she, in like the Chevy Chase station wagon, in like vacation, like one of those looking things with the wood trim on the side. She beeps the horn. Me, move it. Guess what he does? He gets out of the car.
Kills her.
What you say, you fucking? Takes a gun, bam, right in the face. And I'm like, yeah. And people are. I'm watching people like, you're not supposed to cheer.
There was a cheer for that.
They're like, no, that's the sad part. shot a woman in the face. Yeah, don't be honking horns. They're like, that's why you shouldn't watch movies. Here's. Should we have one more final? What's the final tweet here? Oh, it's from Coach Frank with a picture of Steven Seagal in 2017. Oh my God, look at that picture. I loved all those movies. Out for Justice, when you go in, he'd be.
My wife just texted us the worst actor of all time. See,
Oh,
that's where we disagree on famous actors.
Yeah, that's. Here's right here. Here's one. Here's another one from Jake. Knowing Mike Richards very well, surprised. The only comment he had about this picture was that Matthews may have a fidget spinner. That's just sad. He's got a picture of a hot chick, but you know what? I mean, look, Jake, I'm doing a family show here, so
Yeah.
you know, I try to pick it up a little bit. If you want to go into the dirty areas, that's up to you. By the way, the overwhelming support is for me to continue on with the parlay, and we'll find out tonight because I'm not cashing
Yep.
out. I'm not cashing out.
So we've learned a couple things here. Go with the parlay.
Yeah.
Lou Lamoriello overpaid for Zach Hyman.
Yeah.
And let's go watch some Steven Seagal movies this afternoon.
And get us into the Amazing Race. Now, I know it's a Bell property, so it never had. We'll change our names and get in there, but by that time, too late.
Yeah.
I will already. My name is Perry from Vancouver.
Hey, Perry.
I think my hand's starting to hurt.
What?
Little red.
Become best friends? Yep. You want to go do karate in the garage?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. It is time. We should do this more often. I don't know why we try to do like real sports stories. Sports is getting on my nerves. Look at that.
Well, it is the All-Star break
Yeah.
next week, so
Yeah.
expect more of this.
Yeah.
That
so-
wall's coming down.
Yeah. I think maybe I'll talk about the Tour de France. Nope.
Let's get ready to rumble!
By next week, we won't have the fisheye lens or the going to a clothing store and playing with yourself camera. Well, that's what Russell called it. Tweets coming in like crazy. Keep it coming. See you tomorrow.